Thank you very much, Mr. Behuria. And my greetings to each one of you for a very pleasant day. I'm happy to be, co-panelist with all of them. Each one of them I know personally, so it's the comfort for me, and especially Mr. Behuria, as we have been contemporaries into oil and gas sector, upstream, downstream. I know that time limitation, so I would try to be as brief as possible. So whatever Mr. Bahuria has rightly set the tone, and I must compliment Mr. Sinha. He has made a very revealing presentation that at least crystallizes the issues that need to be addressed. I would like to only, supplement somewhere and give my views on some of these issues. And I'm very happy to see such a that impressive and beautiful audience. I must compliment Mr. Vikas Batra and his team for and Safir for putting together this thing and this opportunity for me to be here. Well, significance of gas, cannot be undermined. What we find, especially in the Indian context. If we look at the global energy basket, gas contributes on the global scale about 24% of the primary energy basket. In India, despite that addition by this D6 as of now, it is just about 11%. We know the limitations of the other fossil fuels, the non-conventionals, the renewables. They have their own limitations to what extent, even on the global scale, that they don't constitute very significantly to the energy basket. So in the Indian context, if I look at gas business is the one which is likely to see the exponential growth. If we look at the Indian scenario, we know that we are 17% of the world population. And as on today, the per capita energy consumption in India is less than 1/4 of the global average. These are very revealing numbers and very startling numbers. And every twice a year, the chief economist of British Petroleum comes to Delhi and we have occasion to interact. So next interaction is due on 5th of October, he's coming. Then the database that they create is indeed quite impressive. But looking at it from the Indian point of view, I feel in case this India's GDP story has to hold good. The energy consumption and providing the energy at affordable prices is going to be the main issue. 2 days back, Mr. Chidambaram has said that we cannot afford to grow at less than 8%. I'll be very candid in telling all of you, looking to the current environment, the current situation, not only the political, even we have the ground realities. I don't see a reason that how our economy will be able to grow at that rate unless the prime mover for this growth is energy, unless we are able to find solutions. And to sustain that kind of growth, our energy consumption in the next 20 years has to treble at least. Where from all these resources will come? Unfortunately, India is not so well endowed. This oil and gas, that the known hydrocarbons reserves today are just about 0.55% of the global reserves. And why I'm emphasizing hydrocarbon reserves? Because oil and gas, they are the most convenient source. Coal, of course, remains a king coal, and I see no reason, I feel in times to come, because these other sources will not be able to contribute significantly to the basket. I see more rising domination by the coal, despite all these environmental issues. Here we are talking about gas. I'll try to confine on this. So otherwise, looking to the convenience, environment friendly, this is the area of business which has to see very substantial growth in times to come. But how this growth will happen? There are issues like the technology. There are issues about the gas pricing. There are issues about the infrastructure. The next session you are going to hear, and I have my friend Dr. Chaubey present here. that infrastructure is, in fact, very sadly lacking in the country. For the pipelines, the distribution network, city gas distribution, and again, the ultimate bottom line comes the pricing. You know, this populism, the activism, and the, the politicians would not let the producers to get a representative price. We happily import spot cargoes today at $13, $14, $15 MMBTU, that LNG. But the same domestic gas in our backyard, which is available, that is not being allowed to be developed at a price more than $4.2 MMBTU. What is this fun? And again, and the East Coast. Today, the gas price in the East Coast is the cheapest. The rava gas, that is the cheapest gas available today, because the activism does not allow all that power plants they are lying idling. But they are not willing to buy at a price more than the $4.2 MMBTU. So I feel some realization has to come somewhere. The policy makers, they have to create the right kind of awareness, and the investment opportunities are huge. Mr. Sinha has already brought out, even in that NEL rounds that have gone through, there's about 40 billion investments to be made. And look at it, how much more, only 20% of sedimentary basins have been fully explored today. 80% are either underexplored or unexplored. Where from all that huge investment will come? And I will try to conclude myself by saying that that besides these, all that the issues, technology, the gas pricing, infrastructure, the distribution network, other issue I'll briefly mention about the shale gas. It has a huge potential. But there are serious issues involved about production of shale gas, especially in a highly populated country like ours. One is that availability of clean potable water for injection. And second, land acquisition is another area, you know, that whatever is happening in the country. And then, effluent disposal, these are the major issues. ONGC, in my tenure as a chairman, we took up 4 wells as R&D wells, even though the government has been telling last 2 years they are coming up with the policy in shale gas exploration. What is there for policy to come? Those who are having existing blocks, why can't they be allowed to, start the exploration there itself? And those are the wells. The one well has shown a very, very significant results, and these are the basins the large number of basins are there. I feel that should begin in the right earnest. Huge investment has to come. What is needed today is a regulatory framework that is unfortunately in a very bad shape today. All that our reforms process agenda has been on the backtrack mode. The issues, the institutions like CAG, they are doing immense damage to the country's reputation as an investment destination here. I wouldn't elaborate on that, but I must say that unless these issues, the regulatory issues, the regime respects the investments made in the right earnest, the investments are not going to happen. I met a lot of that individuals, the corporates from India, from outside, who have that huge investments lined up, they are willing to make it, but they say unless there is a receptivity for these investments, how do they come forward? So I'm sure somebody has to take note of these issues to address the issues in the right earnest, but for that it is a very, very difficult and adverse scenario. Thank you very much.